Is it? It's going?
Yeah.
Welcome to True or False Crime.
Awkward opening.
I'm Shady.
I'm Kyle.
I love true crime. I know a lot about true crime.
I know literally nothing.
So I quiz him true or false. And it's fun. And if you want to play along at home, as you probably saw in the title, because I'm going to title this, today we're covering the Brian Wells case. So,
I went to a school with Brian Wells. Not that, probably not that one. Probably, I hope not. Also,
was he 46 in like 2003?
Oh, he might have been. No. I got a lot of shit in the comments, even from my dad from the last episode, not knowing someone. I don't remember.
I remember who. Do you remember who?
No. Who was it?
George Romero.
Yeah. Oh, God damn it. Yes, that. But there was someone else who was like a famous serial killer that.
No, you didn't know the John Bonet story.
John Bonet.
Okay.
I had.
Okay, so we're not gonna get into that. Okay, we gotta get into the actual.
I'm just saying.
All right. So
Sorry, we're rushing through this. I promised her Domino's afterwards, so.
We're trying to get through it so I can get.
We're
some
speed
Domino's.
running this one.
No. So what I'm trying to say is, fuck. Oh, we just lost our monetization.
Oh no.
Oh no.
As if we get enough views for that.
So, the last video was months ago. Long story short, we've been going through depression and winter in Chicago, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
I gotta justify an upload schedule.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. Fuck you. We live when we want, which is just erratically.
Yeah. All of the 16 subscribers, be patient.
I have like 20.
Do you really?
I think like 22.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's really good, actually.
I'm pretty sure like half of those are my mom. But you know what? We'll take it. Okay, so no, for real, last time we did like 4 cases and then like 5 questions each. But going forward, each one is going to be 1 case and however many questions I get to, which is probably going to average about 10
Okay.
per case. This one's 10. I'm shooting for 10 per case.
I think you can get it.
If I go, it's going to go over.
Yeah.
It's going to be at least 10, but about 10 per case.
Averaging.
Yeah, and each episode is only going to be 1 case instead of like putting a bunch of high profile ones into one, and now it's like John Bonet shot, and it's like, damn, that would have been like 1 million views right there.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I don't remember any of it. So
I'm counting on that.
like you can ask me, and is it John Bonet Ramsey?
Yeah, and I'm counting on.
Okay, that's.
We're gonna revisit those cases, but we have to like give it some time. Anyways, moving forward, today we're doing the Brian Wells case.
Okay.
So, something I do want to say is that it's a lot of fun. It's not a lot of fun. People are dead. But I'm really happy we're doing true crime instead of unsolved mysteries because there's a lot of stories that are quote unquote solved. At least there's convictions, but
Wait, I thought they were the same thing. What's the difference between true crime and unsolved mysteries?
unsolved mysteries are unsolved, but true crime, they know who the killer was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So we know like who the big bad is. But
I feel like that was really obvious, and I sound really dumb, but I'm gonna roll with it.
we're gonna roll.
Yeah, I'm the pretty dumb one.
All right. So true or false crime, Brian Wells. Are you ready?
No, but yeah.
Okay, so this isn't the question, but in 2003 in Erie, Pennsylvania, Brian Wells, a pizza
I've been
delivery
there.
man. Erie, Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, there's nothing interesting about that. It's Erie, Pennsylvania. It's complete garbage. But,
Well, there's an interesting murder case from 2003.
it's their only claim to fame.
2003 Erie, Pennsylvania, Brian Wells, a pizza delivery man, was murdered when a collar bomb that was cuffed around his neck detonated.
A collar bomb?
Yes, this is also called the collar bomb murder, the collar bomber, the pizza delivery murderer, pizza delivery collar bomber.
Is it the question, or are you just telling me this?
I'm just telling you this.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I would have said false. That's some shit from Fallout New Vegas.
Originally I had the first question as that and then said it as false, but then I was like, no, like, you need to know. All right, question 1. Oh,
okay.
I do want to say, for those of you who are familiar, we are taking liberties with this, and by we I mean I. I'm taking liberties with this. I'm asking the questions based off of what was eventually determined to be true by law enforcement officials. Obviously, there's like other theories and such, and
discrepancies.
And I mean, there's been confessions since then that's like, are they true? Are they not true?
People are still confessing to the Black Dahlia murders.
So, the questions are based off of what was deemed true in court.
Okay. I think that's honestly the fairest way to do it.
For what we're doing, yes. So,
if it was good enough to put him in prison, like, it's good enough for true or false crimes.
Yeah. It's good enough for my 22 followers. All right, so question 1.
Might be 24 by the end of this.
So, I'm going to run through the questions.
I'm still upset that's not one of the questions, because I would have 100% said false. That's fucked.
It's so good. It's so good.
Like,
it's so fun.
I have so many questions that I'm not going to ask until the end, because...
Yeah. We're going to go through the true or false, and then at the end, we'll go through everything.
Lots of them. Lots of questions.
So, there's many players, and... Yeah. So, whenever this person had the collar bomb detonated, the story is Brian Wells, pizza delivery man, he gets a call. And they're like, hey, come here and deliver us pizza. And he's like, okay, I'm a pizza delivery man. I go and deliver this pizza. And then they're like, oh, I'm sorry. Fuck you. Here's a collar bomb. Go and rob this bank and give us money. Give us the money. And if anyone asks you, tell everyone that 3 black men told you to do this. You know what I mean? They were white people.
Yeah, obviously.
And so...
Now, this is still the real thing that happened.
Yeah. Yeah. What I'm trying to say is a lot of these questions are about the people, not the guy murdered. Not Brian Wells, but the people...
How have I never heard of this? This is fucking insane.
It's really good. It's a really good story. I mean, it's not really good. People are dead, but...
But it's really good in the sense of... yeah, we know.
All right. All right, let's get on to the questions, because I have things I want to say. All right. So, question 1. This whole thing came about because of money, of course. Like, the whole robbing the bank was for money. Some of the other suggestions by the party seeking money were, well, they involved arson, trying to get hit by a, quote, caddy, being a Cadillac, and, quote, slinging fuck tons of crack.
So already the story is batshit crazy, so I'm not sure what to think. I'm gonna say true.
It's false. Fuck. So, the robbing the bank, he was supposed to rob the bank for $250,000. He gave the teller a note that they gave to him for $250,000. I think he got like just under $8,000. I think it was $7,802. But that $250,000 was to spend $200,000. The main conspirator is this person named Marjorie Deal Armstrong. Okay? And so she was like, hey, here's this bomb cuffed around your neck. Go and rob this place for $250,000. $200,000 of which was to pay off another guy to murder her father so she could get the inheritance. Period. And he didn't even get $8,000. It was like $7,800.
Okay.
Yeah.
Again, this is all true.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is 2003.
How did you not put this in the first True or False Crimes? Because this is some content. Like,
Because there's so many that are so interesting.
I am so confused about
This
the
is why I
reality
like
of
true
what's
crime,
happening.
because there's so many that are so interesting. All right, question 2. Wells, Brian Wells, the guy who had the collar, he was in on it.
Oh, so Brian Wells was the delivery man. Mm-hmm. Okay,
Marjorie's the mastermind.
I thought Brian Wells was like the big dude in it. Like, okay.
So, question 2. Brian Wells, was in on it. But had been led to believe the bomb was fake.
I want to say that's true. Like
That is true.
Okay.
So, and this is the one where I'm saying, like, we're taking liberties. Because at the end of the day, someone is in jail for this.
Mm-hmm.
But there's been a confession. There's other things we'll get into afterwards. But
what held up in court was...
what held up in court was... Yeah. His family disagrees. His family is like, oh, he had nothing to do with it. But then there's this eyewitness that's like, oh, I saw him at that place the day before. But then it's like, how reliable are eyewitnesses? You know?
More importantly, how good are, like, family, like, witnesses? Every murderer ever has had their family be like, oh my god, he was such a nice guy. He was... like,
Dahmer and Bundy were, like, so charming.
There are victims who said that Bundy was innocent.
Yeah, so the most widely accepted theory is that Wells was in on the whole thing, but I've been led to believe the bomb was fake. Yeah. Okay, so question 3. At one time, Marjorie shot her boyfriend, Marjorie the mastermind.
Mm-hmm.
At one time, so there's like many players, Marjorie shot her boyfriend 6 times while he lay on the couch, but was acquitted by claiming self-defense.
That sounds true.
It is true. Yeah, that happened.
That's sad that I know that it's probably true.
Yeah. Well, on the plus side, I don't know. This is one of the few cases where the woman is the perpetrator.
Mm-hmm.
So, do with that information what you will. All right. As of writing this question on 3/30/20, wow, I totally wrote 2020 on this yesterday. Barnes, who was part of the conspiracy, so everyone I'm listing, like, knows about it, except for Wells, potentially. It's like the group. Okay, so Barnes, friends with Marjorie, in on it. Barnes has pimp listed as a profession on Wikipedia.
You know, that's so stupid I want to say it's true.
It's false.
Ah, fuck.
It says crack dealer.
Really?
Yeah. So, like, on the page of Brian Wells, it has, like, the players, you know, and it's like Marjorie, blah, 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 blah. And then this guy, who was it? Barnes. They're like, Barnes, a handyman, comma, space, crack dealer, comma, space. And, like, it just keeps going. It's just like, you're just going to drop crack dealer in there like it's NBD.
Yeah. Like,
yeah. No, so pimp is a no. Crack dealer is a yes.
you know, I feel like pimp is a more legit thing to put on a list like that. And at least then, like, you're technically running a business.
And, like, Wells Oh, damn, I forgot to mention. Okay, well, I'm glad you got it wrong because I meant to mention that Wells had relations with prostitutes
Oh, okay.
beforehand.
Okay.
Well, you'll see. We'll get in. We'll keep going. We'll keep going. It's so difficult because I want to tell you so much, but I don't want to give away any other questions.
Yeah.
All right, so before Marjorie Deal Armstrong's husband was buried. So, Marjorie, the mastermind,
yeah.
beforehand had a husband. He died. Under totally non-suspicious circumstances.
Who doesn't trip and shoots themselves in the back of the head twice?
We'll get into that. So, before he was buried, she asked for a piece of his leg bone for possible future cloning purposes.
You know, I've heard something like that reference, and based solely on that, I want to say it's true.
It is true. Yeah, she totally was like, give me a piece of that leg bone so I can...
That's weird as fuck. That's
maybe clone him.
That's super weird.
It's super weird.
You don't get a piece of my leg for cloning, by the way.
So, bet. You're dead. Who gives a shit?
I can't exactly consent to it at that point. So.
Yeah. So he fell and hit his head on a coffee table. And then Marjorie sued the hospital for negligence and won a $175,000 settlement.
Okay.
Question 6. There are at least...
We got a coffee table. I can totally jump at it.
There are at least 5 men that have had relations with Marjorie and died a premature death.
You know, based on everything else, I'm going to say that's true.
It is true.
She seems like a Black Widow.
It is true. So, there's the husband that fell on the coffee table. There's Brian Wells. Yeah. There's the couch ex that she shot.
Feel free to say that, spoilers, Brian Wells, explode?
Yeah.
Okay.
True crime, he's dead. Well... I mean, he's dead, but we'll talk about, okay. We'll talk about how it could have been worse, but it wasn't because of someone being bad at something else. It's interesting.
Okay, I'm very glad you said that because I thought you were going to say, oh yeah, so he exploded, his head popped off, but, he's alright.
I cannot believe you just said his head popped off.
I mean, he had a neck explosive collar, so.
No. Okay, hold on. Okay, this isn't a question. This is just a gruesome fact about the case.
Okay.
It's gruesome. Do you want to know?
Yeah.
Okay. So, his head didn't pop off. The bomb exploded, obviously. Yeah. Otherwise, this wouldn't be a true crime. His head didn't pop off. There was, a plate of metal that was scored. It was, hashed with, cuts. So that whenever the bomb exploded, the shrapnel would explode into his chest, and ideally the shrapnel would explode outward and maim, kill others, and harm, blah blah blah, right?
So they made him a claymore.
But number 1, the scoring wasn't deep enough, so it just gave him an 8-inch wound in his chest that did kill him. Is number 1. Number 2. In order to salvage this is the gruesome fact. So trigger warning. But in order to salvage the integrity of the bomb and potential evidence, they surgically and quote unquote from the show that I watched the first episode of. As respectfully as possible, decapitated him so that they could keep the bomb intact. And then they had to have a closed casket. And the family was super pissed about the fact that all that.
So, I get it, because you can't fit over his head without chopping it off, but,
Yeah.
But oh my god.
And
Imagine being a coroner.
No, they had the guy that had to make that decision on. They had the guy that had to, like, make the decision, like, are we chopping this dude's heads off or not? Like, on. And he was like, it's the hardest decision I've ever made in my life.
But he was the one who had to do it. Okay, that's fair. That's completely fair. But still, like, imagine going into work one day and they're like, hey, by the way, you think we should chop this dude's head off?
Especially, decapitating him as respectfully as possible. Like, nah, dude, you know a saw of some type was involved at some point.
They had to get, like, a bone saw.
Yeah.
Like, that must have taken several minutes. Like,
straight up, I would have so much PTSD, I wouldn't be able to work a day for the rest of my life.
No.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So that's that. That's like the gruesome thing of this case. Other than the death, of course.
I would like to say in the fuck I just uttered, if at all possible in the future, I would love that to be bolded and underlined because that's what I felt at that moment.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
They had
It's pretty gruesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Moving on, next question.
It's pretty gnarly. Alright. 5 men died a premature death. Okay, so Brian Wells, the husband that fell, the couch ex. She also had an ex-boyfriend who hung himself.
Same way Jeffrey Epstein did?
Exactly. And there's also one listed as, quote, the freezer ex.
I imagine where he was found.
We'll get into that one. So, one of the other people involved was a gentleman named Bill Rothstein. One of the other people involved was this gentleman named Bill Rothstein. I think it was Bill. But he was part of a group called the, quote, Fractured Intellectuals, a group of intelligent but not well-adjusted people.
So neckbeards. They think they're intelligent, but they're just not well adjusted.
I don't know who my viewers are, but yeah, neckbeards. Yeah, a group of intelligent but not well-adjusted people. Fractured intellectuals. True or false?
That sounds like something that might be true.
It's true. He's the guy that held the body in the freezer for, I feel like it was like a year, for $2,000. And then eventually called the police and turned her in.
So there was a body held in a freezer for a year.
I feel like it was actually either 2 years or like 6 months.
Regardless, you know, I feel like I hear stories like this where people will hide like a whole ass body in their freezer.
This is not the first one I've seen.
No, not anywhere close. How big is their freezer?
No, it's one of those garage freezers. The ones that are about like
and like big ass trunk.
They're always one of those garage freezers.
You know, I hope that, because like when I think that someone has a body in their freezer, I think like our freezer where it's
I mean, you can fit like a head and maybe the upper arms at best.
I think you could fit a whole torso in there. Not the limbs. Like, the torso,
the torso
itself.
Torso and a head, yeah. Limbs,
head would be a difficult fit, but you could get it in there.
If you decapitated someone.
Well, you gotta think
surgically and respectfully.
You gotta think of the racks.
You can take the racks out. Put them in the oven. Alright, next question.
You know how much of a hassle that is, though? Like,
yeah.
I've already killed someone.
No,
put in
I
the
don't
freezer.
know.
Like, I want to take the racks out, too. I got other shit to do. There's gonna be a lot of bleach places.
Alright, the collar bomb had several decoys, including a toy cell phone, wires that meant nothing, and stickers.
You know, I really want to say true until you said stickers. I'm gonna stick with my gut. It's true.
It is true.
Like, because I mean, that makes perfect sense. If you're gonna do something like that, you gotta have decoys. But stickers was just like, are they that dumb?
I know. I was so confused.
Like, what kind of stickers were they? Do you know?
Yeah, so from what I can tell, there were like a few like of your classic like so they were diversion stickers. That way whenever the bomb squad showed up, they would be focused on like, oh, what are all these stickers say? What does this toy cell phone do? What do these wires do? You know, that way they're like focused on that instead of like actually defusing the bomb. They don't get to at the point where they actually get to defuse the bomb because they're so focused on trying to figure out like what all these things do.
Sounds really dumb.
Oh, there's more. It was...
My opinion of these...
Some of the stickers said they were booby trapped, stuff like that.
My opinion of these people are lowering by the question.
Oh, buddy.
I don't see it going up anytime soon.
So in case of trouble, Wells, who robbed the bank, was given a homemade shotgun that was shaped like a cane.
You know, I really want this to be true, but I'm going to say false.
True.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm actually excited about that. Tell me more.
It's pretty cool. I'll show you a picture in a minute. But yeah, dude had like they gave him a homemade cane that was shaped like a shotgun that like actually fired. They tested it and it fired and like worked.
The recoil on that must be a son of a bitch.
Gotta be.
But I guess you only really get one shot, so it doesn't matter. It reminds me of like what was it? Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter?
Oh my god.
Great movie. Very accurate depiction of Abraham Lincoln's life.
It's true.
It's a historical fact. That's why we don't have vampires. Lincoln killed them.
It's true. Alright, last question. The reason this case is still speculated about and will never truly be solved is because Marjorie died in a murder-suicide, but she was the murderer. And Rothstein, the guy who held the body in the fridge for her, was the suicide.
I'm going to say true.
False.
Okay.
No, they both died in prison. Well, she died in prison. He died of like lymphoma like a year later.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
I honestly thought that she was going to get away with it, and it was going to be one of those things where, like, they find her diary or some shit.
No. So, this case is really intense.
Clearly.
So, I want to start by saying that my theory is, and this is based on things that I know that you don't know yet, but whether or not Wells had something to do with it or knew about something beforehand, I believe Wells was mentally touched. He was a 46-year-old pizza delivery man, and I've been a pizza delivery man for the past 10 years. And everyone like in his neighborhood described him as super nice and like literally childlike. So,
and this was 2003, you said? Yeah, they didn't understand anywhere near what the spectrum is currently.
Yeah, so I think that maybe he did know, or maybe he didn't. But either way, I think that he was, I don't know what the proper terminology is, but you know what I'm saying. And was taken advantage of either way. Either way, he was taken advantage of.
He was mentally unstable.
I wouldn't even say unstable. He was stable. He just was...
I think he knew what was going on. He didn't understand what was going on.
No, I don't think he knew what was going on. So
I feel like you kind of have to when you have like a bomb strapped to your neck, whether you think it's a decoy or not. Like,
so they told him it was a decoy, and So, from what I can tell, there's two leading theories. Is that he was in on it and they told him it was a decoy. And then he got there that day. So, he was working as a pizza delivery guy and they called him at the pizza delivery place and were like, hey, bring us this pizza. Long story short, he does. And whenever he gets there, they're like, hey, strap this collar to your neck. And if anyone asks, it was 3 black guys. And going off this bank for $250,000. And then bring that to us. Mm. But there's more to it than that.
Okay, so...
Oh, there's so much more. Go ahead.
So, you've said that the bomb didn't go off.
No, the bomb did go off.
The neck one.
No, it did. It killed him.
Then why do they need to chop his head off to get the bomb off?
Because... Let me show you a picture.
Oh, I'm going to regret this.
It's pretty bad.
I like how you... Like, I thought you were like, oh, it's not... It's awful. Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah, it's just really... So, it functions like a handcuff.
Okay, yeah, but like...
So there were all the warning signs and all the warning stickers.
So it went off, but it didn't destroy itself?
So there's the collar that attached it. Mm-hmm. That was what was stuck on him. That was connected to this plate.
Oh,
so there's a plate and a bomb. Yeah, the actual explosive was here.
Okay, that makes...
And there's a plate that was scored to be shrapnel.
Yeah, okay. I'm fully with you now.
Okay.
I thought the explosive itself was around his neck, which honestly seems more productive.
No, it was 2 pipe bombs strapped to his chest. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So...
Apparently poorly made.
No, the bombs were made...
Well, I mean, like, the
scoring wasn't deep enough.
Exactly, so...
Yeah. Everything was good except the scoring wasn't deep enough, but not everything was good. Mm-hmm. Everything was bad.
But functional. Except for the plating.
Yeah, except for the scoring on the plating. So, the leading theory and blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm trying to say. Wells was in on it and was told that the bomb was fake. And then the day of... So he's like a pizza delivery guy, and they're like, hey, come out here to like deliver this pizza. And he's like, ooh, okay. Like in on it, you know? And he's like, oh my God, you're strapping this like bomb to my neck. And then like he finds out it's real. And so there's like a struggle, but then it's too late. So he's like, they strap the bomb to his neck and they give him 9 pages of instructions. So these 9 pages of instructions are like, hey, go to this bank and ask for $250,000. They can't give him that. I think it's like $7,802. And then it's just like a series of clues. It's a scavenger hunt to find keys for the bomb. And each key you turn will like buy you more time to find the other key. And you find the key through these 9 pages and through, like, you got to find key 1, which will give you a clue to key 2.
And this is really what happened.
Yeah.
What year did Saw come out? Because this is some bullshit from Saw.
I don't know, but this happened in 2003.
I'm genuinely curious because that sounds exactly...
Well, it gets worse.
I'm terrified, but I'm sure. Saw movie came out in...
I think like 2001.
2004!
Whoa! Saw was based on...
I mean, it seems like it.
So...
I'm gonna pause real quick.
I gotta tinkle.
I do as well. Go ahead while I pause everything.